Wisp Sports Radio, the voice of women in sport.
Hello, and thank you for downloading Transcending Sport here on Wisp Sports. I'm Chris Stafford. Our guest this week is Shelly Wilson, who is the founder and CEO of Sports on the Lips, a Canadian professional networking platform aimed at empowering, equipping and elevating the voices of women in the sports business. Their tagline is giving women a sporting chance, and the aim is to become the LinkedIn of women's sport by creating a subscription-based membership for access to mentors and resources across the sports world. Shelly shares her own journey in sports marketing and where she hopes to take this fledgling organisation to give women a dedicated network for their sporting career. Shelly, hi, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Chris, for having me on your show today.
Well, let's tell everybody where you are. You said to me before you were in a huddle now, you in Chicago, in the Windy City. But what do you mean by in the huddle? Is that just a comfort spot for you?
This is my own personal huddle room. It's called the Stag Field, and those who are familiar with Chicago high school fields, they'll know what Stag Field is. But this is a physical space for me, and it is often a retreat in which I have to do things like we're doing today, to kind of have that quiet room to share what it is I do.
Wonderful. All right. Well, we're going to tell your story about Sports on the Lips, how it got started and where you're planning to take it now. So give us a little bit of background, Shelly, to what you do and how you got into this.
Wonderful segue. Well, first of all, I eat, I drink, and I sleep sports. And I guess most people would say, though, where does that derive? I can share with you my story. It started back when I was a young girl of 9 years of age. And I had a dad who just loved sports. As a result of that, my first love story with sports was the NFL. And it became such an intimate, like you said, moment. I look forward to every Sunday for the NFL. So that was the beginning of my association with sport. As I grew older, those experiences really kind of played out. I just had an exceptional IQ for sports. I was, while I was a cheerleader, and back in my day, and I think I'm dating myself, I think that it just wasn't really acceptable for girls to you were considered a tomboy. So I strayed away from playing the sport, but I always had a passion to watch it, to be in conversation with it. So as life would pan out, years later, I was fortunate to work for several sports brands, and they were under the brands of NASCAR, the National Hot Rod Association, and the Richard Petty Driving Experience. All three of those entities have one thing in common, and that's fast cars. So I learned those industries. I was kind of, like you said, it was an uncharted path. I brought a wealth of marketing expertise. That was what I've studied. So I was able to marry my 15 years of marketing expertise with motorsports.
And that's, so that was really the platform for you. So where did you take it? Yeah, the kickoff, literally. Where did you take it from there? And what's your main occupation today, then, Shelly?
So since that time, that was actually about 10 years ago. Prior to that, I was fortunate to work with Fortune 500 companies in marketing. So that was my love. I should say my love affair and my professional career. That I was, if I can say, I was certainly great at it. But I stepped off the career ladder and And that was to do one of the most important things, one of the important job assignments in my life, and that was being a stay-at-home mom. So I did that. I have three wonderful girls, and those girls I was able to channel my love of sport through my children. So after they grew up, and then I had to decide what it was I wanted to do with my life. I couldn't find that perfect match of my expertise in sports, because it was just like you said, I just couldn't find a way in. I had no navigation or no in. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have anyone that could really, take me on that course. So I waited, and I thought about it, and thus I said, it's time for me to create an opportunity. And that opportunity was the creation of the SRW, Sports Marketing and Digital Media Company, that I founded in 2017. That particular vision I had was like, what is it? What problem am I solving? So after a couple pivots, I came up with a mission, and it was actually to use my voice to talk with sports brands, organizations, and institutions to drive inclusion and diversity in sports. So thus in 2017, that's where I've been. And from that came the brand, the vision of Sports on the Lips. And as we speak today, Sports on the Lips became just more than just talking and giving people best practice solutions to incorporate inclusion and the value. I wanted to get a little bit more specific. And as we all know, the women in sports, or women's sports, have so many layers of issues. Sports on the Lips became that platform, I thought, that would actually allow me to kind of really tackle the issues that today that surrounds women's sports.
And your tagline, appropriately, is giving women a sporting chance. So what are you hoping to do? Or let's backpedal. What have you achieved in the time since you founded then, Shelly? What would you say are the milestones to date?
The milestones today is that I found a wonderful team. I built a wonderful team to kind of help me solve these problems, to help us, just bring the vision, really make it clear and concise as to what we were going to do. And we decided to do that through to drive it through the Sports on the Lips, which is a digital, we call it the digital vehicle, the digital arm or leg, if you will, of the company. And what does that mean, or what does that look like? The Sports on the Lips is currently in beta. We're rolling out an online platform that would be focused on women, specifically female athletes. It would be a vehicle, like a professional networking. Think of LinkedIn, if you will. It will allow us to connect female athletes with professional industry professionals to kind of help them navigate career paths in sports.
And what kind of response have you had then to this, what is essentially a community you're building?
We took our product, we call it our MLP. We won't call it the minimum viable product, but we took our most lovable product to the colleges and universities and zoned in on female athletes. We heard their concerns, or we kind of got their feedback to help us build this platform. And some of the crucial, I said, some of the 2 points, we had many, but the two top concerns that we had of women was basically access. These female athletes strive very hard, and as students and as aspiring professionals. They said they didn't have access to mentors or internships, things that would kind of carve out a path in the industry. So that was one of the feedback points that we took back in creating this platform. Another opportunity, another pain point, we would call it, that we addressed was the fact that they needed they wanted more visibility and peer connection. So we kind of derived, if we are successful in this one in connecting them to mentors, why can't we build out a digital content, such as, something like with the ESPN, some of our competitors, ESPNW does so well, that would be focused specifically on women-focused sports activities, women charting paths, women's stories, a network to just share and raise the visibility of all females in sports.
So you're doing this online, obviously. You have a website, which we'll link to in our show notes, sportsonthelips.com, and on social media platforms. But in terms of physical presence, where do you expect to sort of take it physically and in terms of the networking?
Physically, we hope to touch all points of sports. And what I mean by physical points, we're going to start at the college level, and then we're going to actually focus in on women. And right now, currently, our first genre would be female athletes. After that, we want to take it to the community. When we set up our platform, we got so much feedback from the community in terms of impact. And the feedback was, Shelly, you are making, you are kind of intersecting in some of the other issues that we face with women and girls, especially in our state of Illinois. We were fortunate to kind of have access to some real harrowing statistics about women and girls. So as far as in the physical realm, we took that data and basically we kind of extrapolated it, and we feel that if we're successful connecting women, we can then move to our next genre would be high school and junior high athletes to kind of encourage sport, not only for the physical, only for the physical aspects of exercise, but also for sustainable careers, also for new roles and other opportunities that now exist in sports, such as technology. STEM programs are just, waiting for the next generation of young children to aspire to. And sports would be that happy medium. It would allow them to take their love of sport and channel it in other realms, on the court as well as off the court.
So then, in terms of like physically, with boots on the ground, will you yourself be going out to these colleges and to these schools, or do you have a team that will do it? And will it just be focused on your area of the Greater Chicago area? How do you see it actually getting, as I said, to boots on the ground out to these young people?
Oh, and I'm glad you asked that. I mentioned before, I am privileged to be a part of a big team. Currently, when I started the program, I was privileged to be associated with a team, an accelerator working out of the University of Chicago. The accelerator was called the United States of Women. Through that accelerator program, we were able to take to kind of extend ourselves to underrepresented areas of Chicago to test out our platform. So with that, in terms of boots on the ground, that provided so many, like you said, not only fingertips but also some real footprints as to where we can go. And with a partner such as a university team, as well as our continued communication with the city of Chicago, in the areas of economic development and mobility, for women and girls. I think we have partnered with two entities right here in the city when that is successful, I think that would allow us to go outside of the Chicago area to kind of really spread the word of Sports on the Lips, to kind of entertain conversation in this digital area. I think the fact that we would be able to share our footsteps along the way as kind of a template of where we're driving.
So do you see the program expanding nationwide?
Absolutely. I could see if when we're successful, the language of sports is global.
It absolutely is, yes. And I'm just wondered if you've seen any other sort of similar organizations around the country that you might even partner with in order to spread the message far and wide.
Yes, I've pinpointed many organizations, some in which are affiliate partners of the WISP sports program. You have many organizations, the She Is organizations, if I can drop a name, that is working to spread the mission of inclusivity, diversity of sports from a female lens. I think when we collaborate, I think that's where our power. I mean, you have the ESPNW, you have the Women's Sports Foundation, you have the national leagues. I mean, you have the NFL, the WNBA. All eyes are. I think they're standing by, waiting to give us that thrust that we'll need, because we're going to need the collaboration. It's not it is indeed a team process.
Absolutely, the power of holding hands.
Absolutely, we believe.
Yeah, certainly. And in terms of your membership now and affiliation to the organization, Shelly, what kind of membership do you have?
The membership currently that we have is actually right now currently at 20, a membership of 20.
And is there a subscription?
The business model is based on a subscription. Yes, it is. We have two forms of revenue. Our business model is a subscription service as well as sponsorship. So those are our two business revenue models.
And break that subscription down for us so people can understand what it will cost to be a member and what they get for the membership.
The membership has 3 levels. Our first level is actually it's set up on a $3.99 monthly fee, or pay as we call it, pay as you go. We're a strong believer in the subscription because it tests it gives us an opportunity to test the customer's needs. If they stay, we know that we're doing right. If we're not, it gives us an opportunity to go and make the adjustment. So a $3.99 membership fee, monthly membership fee, would look like this. It would allow a mentee to have access to an industry professional for an entire month. Those particular consults will be based on their need. Everybody would have will be allowed to build their own navigational plan. That plan would be monitored to align a service within that month to allow them to reach touch points of metrics to see if they are actually reaching the desired goal, because everybody it won't just be a one size fit all. Everyone would have an opportunity to kind of carve out their own footprints. We take that in terms of for that $3.99 a month, we basically give them an opportunity to go in, just like think of a LinkedIn, to build a profile, to share content. This is where we would derive, an opportunity to showcase women in action, or what we call our wow moments. So we would allow them to share that content. For $3.99, that may just be one photo, or just maybe, it may be an opportunity to connect with another member of our platform. The second level, that is called our out of pocket. So that first level is called our out of pocket level. The second level we have is our 799 platform. It features the opportunity to not only connect with the mentor, but you also get the opportunity to have a workshop, a one-on-one workshop with a particular industry. And then our third feature of that plan would allow you to share content as well as give you opportunity to connect to the network members as well. And then our final, what we call our final full throttle platform would give you unlimited access to mentorships in various genres. For example, sports media. You may have a female athlete that's looking to pursue a career in sports media. We will have an opportunity for you to go and not only have unlimited consults, not just one, but unlimited consults with various genres of the sport industry, while also having access to the other resources as far as be it internship inquiries for one-on-ones with workshops, as well as different receptions and seminars.
And what is the price of that then, Shelly?
And I forgot about that. We have our after the $7.99, we have the $3.99, the $7.99, and then for $15.99, that would be our full throttle. We call that our full throttle membership platform.
And how do you choose your mentors?
Our mentors are vetted out according to we have a system in which we call a scoring system that we invite them in. Currently, it is not on a paid a paid subscription. It allows them to kind of goodwill, to give back, to support the mission. These are people that have currently the 10 mentors that we have now are with us as goodwill ambassadors of what we're doing. And in that respect, we're able to recruit as we go along. Right now, we're only looking at 2 industries that we're looking at, and it's actually our mentors are from the sports and entertainment of media, as well as the WNBA.
So where are you seeing the interest in terms of the career paths that these young people want to take at the moment, Shelly?
And that's a very good question. The feedback is most of our candidates or our mentees are excited about media. They have an extreme interest of becoming, the next sideline reporter, or to work in journalism in some capacity. That's our number one aspiration with our 20-member panel.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, I think there are more opportunities, that's for sure. Is there anything else you would like our audience to know about the organization, Shelly?
The Sports on the Lips is actually it's early stage. We are positioning ourselves for a long-term vision in the sports space. It is dictated by a market that we have researched. We know that the sports is currently in the United States. It's an $80 billion industry. And according to some of the other sources, it's so big. If we go outside of that, it's so big that sometimes those numbers may be more than that if we go, if we can combine all industries. So for the audience, I would want them to know that we are in it for a long term. We feel that our work is not only a mission of passion, but it's a mission of purpose. And we look forward to connecting with partners to kind of help us to drive our mission. And our mission is to empower, to equip, and to elevate the visibility of women in sports.
And how can we find you? Tell everybody where you can be found online and social media, Shelly.
Okay, I think I would love to share that. You can find me, Shelly Wilson, on LinkedIn. It's at Shelethea Wilson, 1, that's SHELETHEIA Wilson, WILSON, the sports name, and it's the number 1. And on Instagram, you can find us at Sports on the Lips. And then our website is www.sportsonthelips.com.
And that website is active and they can find more information on there, can they?
More information is ready. As we build out, it would become a wonderful display of our mission.
Super. Lots of resources. And again, that website you go to is sportsonthelips.com. Shelly, thank you so much for joining us and also for partnering with us. You're now officially a part of our affiliate partner program.
Thank you very much, Chris, for reaching out to me. Thank you for sharing our mission. And I look forward to, like you said, being an affiliate partner and spreading the word, doing what you're doing. Good job.
Well, thanks again, and for the very best of luck with it, Shelly, and I appreciate you taking the time to come on the program. Thank you.
I appreciate you for your time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nia Tapper, a proud WISP ambassador and a USA women's rugby player. I support WISP because they give a platform for women in sports to share their stories, celebrate the accomplishments of other women, and to empower the world through sport. I think it's important to turn up the volume on women's sports because women are amazing, they are unstoppable, and they are capable of any and everything, and the world needs to know that. My name's Nia Tapper. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Nia Tapper, NAYATAPPER. Thanks for listening and supporting WISP.
And if you hop over to the website at wisports.com, you'll find the show notes for this episode right there under the Listen tab. Just drop down to Transcending Sport, and we'll post the link to Shelly's organization's website as well as their social media. And if you haven't followed us already on social media, just look for WISP Sports, where you could follow and tag and share and join in the conversation. Our email, if for those of you who prefer it, is info@wisports, where you can tell us what you think about any of the shows. You can also send us any suggestions you have for future guests or topics that you think we should be covering on one of our shows here at WISP Sports. Until the next time, thank you for listening and helping us to turn up the volume on women's sports.